What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, here with another installment in the one-on-one with the supervillain series, where if you haven't heard, seen them, been under a rock or something, this is where I talk to the members of the squad who support me at the $25 tier on my Patreon, man, and to show my love and appreciation. Once a month, we sit down and for about an hour and talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. This ain't about me, it's about them. The squad having their thoughts and whatever, and just want to have an open conversation and dialogue. And we come back around with a lot of people you've seen already, and I'm back around with this man. We've been having some good convos that end up on a lot of conflicting points on wrestling and so many things, but it's great, and I love it. Mr. Luis Torres, what's happening, bro?
Not much, man. It's been an interesting time. Well, first of all, let me begin with this. Apparently, I come to find out that you blocked me on Twitter. I don't know why. Yeah. Because I was trying to follow you and Winston and the Blurred's account, and I was like, oh, okay. Let me follow everybody. And Mr. J. Washington, you yourself, sir, have blocked me. I don't know why I did. Probably deserved it at the time. Let's be honest.
What's your Twitter handle?
LT King 93.
Okay, so we're gonna fix this right now.
But aside from that dumb issue, I've been telling you I've been streaming, and it's been going well actually. I have 31 followers out of 50 followers to get it affiliate. And it's like I got 10 followers last weekend, and I don't know what I did special. I don't know what, but it just I made a clip and I want to pull it up later, but it shows me just flabbergasted with people just following me one after the other and staying and talking to me. It was like one of the greatest feelings I've had while doing this. You know what I mean? It's like it's showing that while it's small in the long run, for me it feels like the biggest accomplishment so far, because showing that I'm doing it right. You know what I mean?
Dude, congratulations first and foremost. I know you've been talking about every time we talk how you're trying to push the Twitch channel, how you're trying to grow that, and to have that happen for you in a short amount of time unexpectedly speaks volumes, bro. So congratulations on that, man. Look,
yeah,
you put the work. The thing is, and you and I've said this before, you put the work in, you get the results.
Yeah, but and you know how it is too. Like sometimes you just like, don't see it. You know what I mean? Like it, because you're too close.
You preach to the choir. Look,
right.
To the choir, bro.
But days like last week, and then with you probably seen already many times with Winston and on your own following, it's there. It's there, but it's hard sometimes to see. Mm-hmm. But I appreciate it nonetheless, and I went for a good 10 minutes just shell shocked because I didn't see it coming. I got like people hosting me, and it was like, wait, what?
Dude, I think that's the thing though. It's one of those, you never know when or where it's coming. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. It's sometimes we think we can expect when, we can time it. We like, oh, this should happen right about now or this point in time, and then it doesn't, and so it kind of blows our minds. And so again, you have every right to feel astonished, flabbergasted, and speechless because it happened out of nowhere. And all this means, and it's coming from somebody who is, again, still busting his ass left and right nonstop, you got to just keep pushing forward. Now you hit one goal. Now you set that bigger goal. And then after you hit that goal, set a bigger goal. You know what I'm saying? So, man, congrats on that.
For sure. And again, I have I have to get like 50 viewers or 50 followers, and then a steady amount of 3 people watching the streams every time. So I feel like I can do this. I can get affiliate by like the end of the year if I keep going the way I am. And like
dude,
so close to essentially what I want to do. Mm-hmm. It's after the depression and anxiety and wondering if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm following my dreams, or sure, like, am I being dumb for doing something that is considered unachievable, and many people have done it. Like, just for that to happen, it's like an addiction. You're a performer yourself. You wrestle. You do comedy shows. You are going to be hosting. Congratulations, by the way, Comic-Con, and but you get that addiction of performing, of being in front of crowds, of talking, and that's the same type of energy that I got today because I was going to stream, because I was going to be here talking with you, because I got the weekend plans to stream in the weekend. I got that like excitement, that energy, just rearing to go.
So I'm
And
glad to hear this, man. I'm real glad to hear this.
And it's fantastic.
I mean, dude, you are rightfully having all the emotions and expressing them the way you absolutely should, because again, you are pursuing that goal. You told from the first time we talked what you told me what you wanted to do and how you wanted to make it happen. And again, like you even just said, sometimes it seemed like it's unattainable and it seems like it's so far away, but you've done that. And celebrate that, man. Embrace that. I mean, it's coming from somebody who doesn't celebrate his wins because he's too busy going, well, what's next? Like, celebrate that. You've earned that. You've busted your ass, bro, and congratulations from the bottom of my heart. And also, I did unblock you. I don't know what happened. Hopefully, you might have this is the only thing I can think of because I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember. I was hoping to God you weren't a certain stand of a certain person, and then that's probably what got you. Like
the orange Cheeto Man? No,
not hell, no, not him.
No, please, I'm Latino. It's like against my religion.
A certain other internet personality, like if yeah. See.
One of those two.
One.
Because I might not be in the circle, I might be adjacent to the circle, but I know what I'm pretty sure the two of who you may be talking about.
Yeah, so like potentially that might have happened. Like, but again, because I've had a bunch of people who were like, good. I've had people who hit me and were like, "Yo, you must have blocked me for something," and I was like, "Hey, bro, I might not have no clue." I said, "I don't, if I block people, something had to happen. I don't just randomly go blocking people." And they'll be like, "Well, it was probably when blah blah blah," and I was like, "Sounds about right." Sounds about right. Like, and you don't want to just shit on people or whatnot. So
for sure. Nah, man, but like aside from that, it's been good. And like again, I'm not expecting the same like for this weekend. I'm not expecting the same type of thing to happen again. But I think the hardest part, I don't know about you, is like when you do your own videos for your time podcast, is talking to to the void. Keeping that conversation going. But once I have people like either in chat or with you, well, you've seen it. I can't stop talking. Like I'm good at talking. I'm good at conversation. I keep the conversation going. But for me, the hardest part is talking and keeping the conversations going with myself.
It seemed, trust me, that's how, like, when I have to do episodes of Mad Titan by myself, like I can talk, like I can do it, but I've gotten so accustomed to having that voice to bounce off of. And granted, everybody isn't available all the time, or I get accustomed to doing shit like I've done on Blurs, and sometimes I'm just like, all right, well, here's just me. Let me just talk about everything I can think of, and I'm just gonna express it and just do that. And that's what happens, dude. But you know what? The uncomfortableness will kind of go away the more you do it. Because you'll understand. You'll start to be like, yo, this is just me allowing my thoughts to flow freely. To people may want to hear this and hear how you say it and certain things like that. So, man, keep going, bro. Keep going.
Yeah, man. It felt good. Sure. One day I'm hoping to be part of many other podcasts. But for now, I'm happy with what I am.
And that's how it's got to be, man. Like when I first was co-partnering with Bobby Hill when we were doing the Trusty Sidekick, like we just knew it was two dudes who are nerds that don't seem like nerds, and we was like, yo, because we would have these conversations every day, and we was like, yo, let's record this shit and see what happens, and then started recording it. And that was at the time where I started to, excuse me, I started doing Screen Junkies more. And I was just using that. And then people were like, yo, we like Mad Titan and blah, blah, blah. Mad Titan, excuse me, Trusty Sidekick. And I was like, and he was getting the comments and I was getting them. We were like, wait, people like this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when we kept going. And then eventually when we separated, you know, it took a while for me to jump up the courage to do it by myself. Cause I was like, I've been so used to doing this with someone. Cause I wasn't even thinking about being on other people's podcasts like that. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was like, I gotta get this shit together first and foremost before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, it started to happen, and dude, again, it builds.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping. At least that's the plan. So hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be affiliate. That's the goal, anyways. For now,
I believe you'll push it, and I believe you'll be able to push it if you can. Granted, it's not much time in a year, especially how fast this year been flying. This year's been fast and slow at the same time.
But you know why though? It's because for the 6 months or so, we were told stay at home, or we were encouraging ourselves to stay at home.
Right.
And then for like the last couple of weeks left for summer, we're like, oh, you can go out now. But like the whole year just gone by, you're like, wait a minute, it's summer and it's almost winter now.
I went out for a hike today. I haven't done a hike in a long time. And I went out for a hike for myself, cleared my head. You know, it was a good cardio and a workout.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up seeing one of my homegirls, and we were hiking and we were walking, talking. And I was like, you know, motherfuckers forget that it is still a global pandemic out here. Like, people just walking and chilling, and like everything is cool. And it's like, yo, I get how you feel, but we still in the midst of a goddamn pandemic. Can you get your shit together? Like, people forget about these things, man.
And in a way, it's kind of nice not to be like living your whole life afraid, especially right now during pandemics, not be afraid of shutting yourself off and like stop living because of a pandemic in a healthy way.
Yes.
In a healthy way.
Yes. I definitely agree with that. I think like the hardest part, this is going to be the hardest part of everybody thought the summer was the hardest part. That's not the hardest part. The hardest part is coming up in 2 weeks with Halloween, because let's just be real. I posted this on Facebook. I said, yo, y'all might as well go ahead and forego all them angry. I saw people at Halloween party messages y'all finna post and all this, because you knew the shit was finna happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You knew people were finna go, we're gonna go, well, fuck this pandemic. I'm over it. And they were gonna go party for Halloween. Now, the problem, because like the governor of California was just like, well, we think Halloween could be a super spreader event. You think?
It will.
It will. But then the holidays themselves.
Yeah.
People are going to, as much as people say, oh, I don't want to be with family, I'm going to try to play it safe. Motherfuckers is going home or Friendsgiving or whatever the case it may be.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not part of the problem, because I probably will. But I'm also like, I know that at work we are, checked for COVID on a weekly basis. So on Monday we get tested, and then we can go on, and every day we make sure that they ask us questions to see if you're able to enter the building. So I know I'm
real quick. Let me interrupt with that. Here's the thing. I was just at the DMV yesterday to get my license, and it was funny to me. It's always funny to me that they ask you the questions. Have you been around anybody? Do you feel sick? Or blah, 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 blah. And everybody is automatically going to say no to everything. I was like, I even asked her, I was like, has anybody ever once been like, you know what? Yeah, I just found out somebody I was around. Like, has anybody ever done that?
Yes. And I can tell you with a certainty, because for the better part of March and most of April, we had to close down the clinic that I was working at, and to put us essentially as frontline workers, and we were the people asking the questions. So, do you have seasonal, aside from seasonal coughs, or trouble? Do you have trouble breathing? Loss of some taste of smell, and all the questions they ask you. And we got, I think, for the part of those 2 months, 10 people, and we got one of those symptoms. So people do say yes, or people do say no.
At least they're being okay. At least in that situation, though.
But at the same time, like at that point, it's already too late. Like I never figured out what the point of asking those questions was, since this virus takes 2 weeks to even show symptoms. My
homegirl, one of my homegirls back in Chicago, who I normally go hang out with when I'm home, She texted me this morning. She was like, I'm furious. I was like, yo, what happened? She was like, this bitch then came, one of the chicks that she works with, they was hanging out with her yesterday because it was her day off. All of them were like, just hanging out, drinking, smoking, just kicking it. Come to work today to find out she's tested positive, knowing she had been around her father-in-law who was positive.
Whoa.
So now everybody she's been around can't come back to work until they get a negative test. And the thing is, like, if she tested positive and y'all were hanging out like that, aside of miracle, you're going to test positive. And so now you got to quarantine for these 14 days at least to see how this goes.
Minimum.
And it's like, I told her, I was like, I was probably coming out there for Thanksgiving because I know I ain't doing shit here. I said, but hey, bitch, you got to stop being around these people. Like this is what it is. But fuck, man.
But yeah, no, you think you're right. Where these holidays are going to be the roughest part of the year, because everybody's going to want to hang out with everybody, even people you don't like. Because after all this time spent away from people, you're going to hang out with people who you hate just to have some human interaction.
Yeah, and I get that, and I think that's the thing. Like, because if you ever notice, I notice this a lot on Facebook more than any place else. Throughout from pretty much January to almost October. My family this and family members are like that and blah, blah, blah. And I hate them and they're so terrible and I don't want to be around them. Then come Thanksgiving, it's these motherfuckers in a lovely picture that I'd rather have no one else. Like,
yeah, I'm thankful for my family for this.
You're like, you just 2 weeks ago, you don't want to talk to anybody. And and I said that in that post I wrote about Halloween. I said, yo, can we forego that and start talking about all y'all that's about to say how much you hate your family that are going to be around your family?
It's going to be those same people that were protesting. It's going to be those same people that are going to were protesting about that they can get their lawns mowed, or can go to restaurants, or can go to bars, or whatever. They're going to be posting photos with people. Or those same people are going to be saying, why can we have parties with people? Without realizing, maybe it's not a smart idea to get a lot of people together in a enclosed space. Just maybe. But at the same time, like, idiots are going to be idiots. And if they don't care about their own health or about the health of others, I'm done arguing with them. I'm done.
That's the biggest thing. And that's the bigger. I think people have to realize, like, I used to see for the first couple of months, I would see people just making constant angry posts like, why are you guys doing this? And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you do realize the people you're talking to don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. So it's like, you were getting upset. I understand why you're upset. Because remember, at first, the whole big thing with all this was, you can affect my parents and my grandparents. We went from that. I paid attention to the transition of, you can affect my parents and my grandparents too. We're never going to be able to go outside. And I was always sitting in the back thinking like, so which one is it? Which one is more important to you?
The selfish part. The selfish part.
Like, yeah, because it's like, you say, oh, you care about my parents, my grandparents and things like that. But then you're like, I just want to go outside with my friends and I can't do that. And like, wait, so you just just forgot about grandma and grandpa, nana and papa, like fuck them. Eventually I just want to do what I do. And so it's been interesting.
It's the same idiots that are protesting just because they can and they're able to get away with it. I just, at this point in where we are in 2020, I'm like, you know what? You idiots are going to go out there and be the ones who are going to be spreading this awful disease. Then, you know what? I can't stop you. That's not a part of my free will. My free will is say I don't want to do that because I want to take care of myself, my family, and I want to keep working so I can support myself and my family. If you want to be an idiot and go out there and have a potential of dying, then I can't stop you. I wish you luck. I wish you all the best, but that's as
you know what
I can do.
I'm glad you mentioned that last part.
Myself out.
I'm glad you mentioned that last part because now we've got to this point where, and I think we might have talked about this last time, how people see the mortality rate, which is so low, and you hear people recovering, which again, that's the good part of this. Yes, the majority, the overwhelming majority of people who will contract the virus will pass it through with no problem. That is a good thing, no matter who it is or what. But at the same time, it is literally a luck of the draw who dies. It is literally because it's no longer just the high risk categories. When you're hearing about somebody who's like, yo, this is a super healthy motherfucker who just gone. And then I hate when people try to be like, well, they might have had underlying conditions. No, they didn't. We're healthy as shit and gone. So it really baffles me when people do that, because it's like you're literally playing Russian roulette with your life with a virus. Like, I understand some people be like I don't. Did you see the dude on Facebook? I think he was from Ohio. He was a heavy set dude. Don't post him. Don't let your life live in fear from the virus, or don't, blah, 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 blah. This virus is fake. And we'll post a whole bunch of shit. Then posted a video, a picture of him in the hospital gown. Hey, this is real. You got to take it serious and blah, 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 blah. The next picture was his obituary.
Okay, I'm sorry for whoever that family member, the family members and whatever.
I have a little bit. Those are the ones I have a little bit of I have little to no sympathy for, because
the person, no, the family, yes, because
yes, okay, yes.
But like at the same time, that's karma to
the fullest. It's karma to the fullest.
Again, you do you, and if you want to risk, like you said, 50-50, if you want to risk it, do it. I'm not going to stop you. I've risked myself. I've gone to the movie theaters to see Tenet on theaters. I wore my mask and I wore gloves, but I still went, which, I still could get it. I have a 50-50 chance of getting it. But I still went, and luckily I was one of the lucky ones. Because I wanted to see it on theaters, and it was a good movie. It's a really good movie that you have to think about from the very beginning. But again, if you don't want to even wear a mask, if you don't want to wear gloves, there's nothing that can stop you unless you're going to get in my face about it. Then that's when I can do something about it. I can knock your ass out. Because believe me, I'm not going to risk my life or my sister's or my family member's life because you want to be a dumbass in front of me.
But that's like how Weston and I talk about that with the Karens and Chads on Blurs every week. Like, people who try to make these big fucking deals, like, oh, my freedoms and my liberties. Like, this has nothing to do with that.
No.
This is a public health pandemic. This is a public health emergency in the country. This has nothing to do with your personal liberties. When it's a public health thing, you are part of the public. So you have to, if you can wear shirts and shoes, when a place say no shirt, no shoes, no service, you can wear shirts and shoes. So now they telling you no mask, suck that shit up.
You show them those videos of the morons, like I like to call them, of saying you can't deny me a service here, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, first of all, they can't deny anybody service, whoever they were. We've seen videos and posts on the internet about people denying gay people from coming in, from vegetarians to eating in front of their restaurants, from whatever. If you think they're not going to stop you on a pandemic from not getting what you want because you're not following that store specific rules, are you kidding me? They're kicked out people for less.
Yeah, people for less. That sitting and going, oh, well, I have my rights. Yeah, and guess what? We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. And then it really killed it. Like, oh, you can't do that. I'm an American. That ain't got shit. Your motherfucking nationality ain't got shit to do with this right now.
And first of all, you're not American. American refers to the whole continent, which is an argument that I've always hated. I'm an American. Yes. What part of America? North America, South America, Central America.
Yeah, because people forget our country is not America. It's the United States. So it's like people don't think like, oh, it's the U.S. No. It's Canada, the United States, then and
Mexico. The same country that get those illegal immigrants out. It just pisses me off. But anyway,
there are people. Yeah, trust me, it's pissed me off so much to the point where I'm like, I've learned people are just fucking idiots, for lack of better words.
Yeah,
and they're going to be willing. They're willingly allowing themselves to be idiots, and it's just like you can't change them.
No, unfortunately. but you can do your best, and you can only protect yourself as much as you can, and those who you care and love as much as possible. Because I don't want to stress for things that I have no control over.
Mm-hmm. There's no
And
reason to. There's no reason to. It's so. Why stress my health out? Put weight on my body, tax my nerves, and all this over people that's gonna do what they do in their life regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that a long time ago. The only people in my life I need to get stressed out about are a 17-year-old and a 7-year-old now. Those are the ones I stress out about because my 17-year-old is really coming into his own. So that can stress, but that's my son. I don't give a fuck. Like, yo, I can want you to be the best person you could possibly fucking be, but it's not my life. It's your life.
And speaking of which, I don't know how you do it, especially with your little girl and your boy, because I have a sister, right? And to me, I may not have my own kids, but Jesus Christ, I literally was the first one to hold my baby sister, right? When she was first born. And I swear to God, just this little tiny little creature is my baby sister. And now 17 years later, I'm dreading the day when she brings home a boy. Dreading. And I'm the brother, right? I'm the brother. I cannot even tell how I'm going to feel when I have my own. And she is my little girl.
So here's
my sister is like, I know it's a toxic male thing to do, but like, I grew up in that culture. I grew up in the culture of protecting your family no matter what, right?
So I'm a dad. So let me go a step further. As a father, I grew up we grew up in the hood, and where I grew up at, and just in general, there's always been this thing in Black culture. It's been a running joke that for fathers, your number one job with your daughter is to keep her off the pole. That was always the thing. And of course, now we're in this new day and age where we're embracing, sex workers, strippers, and all this. Fine. Fine. However, as a father, I can still want more from my child, but that's my child's life. When she gets older, I have no control over that. Fair. My fear of, because my daughter is, there's a different way I treat my son and my daughter. My son is my firstborn. More than anything, it's just being my son. He's my firstborn. He's what showed me I have to be a man. I have to be a man. I have real responsibilities in life. My daughter showed me I had to be a man in more ways than one now, because I had to be a reflection of the man she wants to, if she's with a man or woman, whatever, but to be the reflection of what she should see in a man. And see that, like, how a man should treat a woman, or how a man conducts himself. And so that was the thing, me growing up. And it's like, I know there's gonna come a point in time my daughter's gonna be in a relationship, and I'm gonna have to be open, and I'm gonna have to be like, as much as it hurts, this is Leah's life. Leah has to do what Leah wants to do. Her mom and I have these discussions like, one day we gotta talk about our baby gonna be, like, she's my baby. Unless I have another kid, which hopefully does not happen. I'm not getting fixed, but I'm done. I'm done. And I know people are like, well, if you don't get fixed, how you know? Look, I know y'all, people think, well, your pull-out game ain't that accurate. Like, actually it is, but because I kept in on purpose on those 2 times. But like, I just want, like, it's a hard thing to realize that your child grows up. And again, that's a part of life, because it's been our part of life. I'm one of 2 boys my mom and my dad had. And so my dad passed when I was 5. And so my mother had to watch the 2 of us grow up. My mother unfortunately passed at her 50th birthday, but she saw me hit to my point where I had my son. And so, my mom was around when I was out here reckless, just bringing random chicks over to the crib. And, at one point she like, look, I get you. I remember my mom told me, she was like, look, I get you gonna have these little bitches over here. This is her exact words. I get you gonna have these little bitches over there. But can you please not have these hoes be so loud? And all I can do was laugh. Because it was like, I've been a comic mentally the way I've functioned my whole life, and my whole response to my mom should have been, "Well, at least you know your son put in work." Like,
You know, she would have smacked the hell out of you for
she
that
would
too.
have. She would have. She would have.
Because
But it's
I know you come from a culture that whether black mothers or my own mother, they don't get comedy, especially not from the sons.
oh no,
That
no,
would
no,
have
no.
smacked the shit out of me if she heard me say that.
And I'm like, you know what? That's fair. But when it comes to my daughter, man, I just know that that's my baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's my baby girl. I just, I just want the best for her. And again, in this day and age where we're fighting for more equality for women and those who have rightfully should have been in the first place, me more so now for the equality of women of color, because there is people, I don't know why people are oblivious to this. White feminism is a thing where it is only for white women, where they completely just, ostracize women of color. And so now I have to make sure I'm part of that as a man that can do my part to help making sure that women of color are able to advance. And that would be my daughter.
And I think you're doing it well with, again, with your shows and with Blurs and all your own channels. You're spreading the word, and that's all you can do. And you can show the message that, well, yes, you are a guy, but you still respect enough women to say, hey, they chose to do that, and let's give them a voice. And you're doing that with bringing women in, with giving them opportunities to talk, to express who they are. Because look, both of us are men of color. Both of us know that at any moment we can barely walk down the street without other people of essentially white color, without them jumping at, like, looking at us weirdly and moving aside. We can't wear our hoodies up either in the early morning or when it's at late at night, because anything could happen to us. But to me, one of my biggest fears, and I'm so glad my sister is this way, is that she is not letting like other guys or other girls talk down to her. I'm so glad that she doesn't have the same accent that I have, where I was bullied from school, and it forced me to essentially become very introverted and not speak a lot, to hate myself when I'm editing myself on videos because I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't. And I'm so glad that she is willing to fight against those things. That she, at so young age, willing to understand that there's right and there's a wrong, morally speaking. That she's willing to go out there and at a young age and stand in protest against the inequality of women, of Latinos, of the black community, because she is willing to use her voice. And not focus about how she looks, but about her smarts. She is killing herself to get straight A's. She has a 4.03 GPA, and she works day and night, and she goes to one of the best academically schools for girls, and is planning to go to an Ivy League school called here in St. Louis called Washington University. All on her grades, not on how she looks or her sports, but on her smarts, on her brain itself. She's willing to work that. And like as a guy, as a brother, as a man, I can't be more proud of her. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm afraid that there will come a time where she will face what both of us have faced, what my parents have faced, of that stupid hatred just because we look different, just because we sound different.
I know it. I know that feeling. I completely understand. I for my daughter, my daughter's in Washington State, and the part of Washington she's in is in Tacoma, and it's very culturally diverse. So the odds of it happening are super slim. It may happen, but it's very slim. My son, however, is in Indianapolis. Where see your face? See your face? See your face? My son's in Indianapolis, where I hate to say it this way, I fucking expect it. And then, but the thing now is, I expect it, but I have to know I have to remind myself of what to teach him, of how to deal with it. Because it is so, It's so messed up. But as men of color, and more so black men, we literally have to try to say, suck this up, because we have to, because automatically, if we're angry or the aggressor, we're angry about the situation, then
And
we're
then
the aggressor, and then we become the threat, and then
mm-hmm.
it goes all off the rails. And so my son, again, when it comes to him, high GPA, like a 3.9, almost 4.0, good athlete. He is super smart. His goal is to be an engineer more than an NFL player. My daughter is just as smart. My daughter and my son they both have this thing, and I blame myself. And it's a bad thing, but it's not. They get bored quick. So my son would get in trouble in school because he would finish his assignments, tests, and everything before everybody else. It's done correctly and perfectly. And now he just like, I'll come the fuck home. My daughter's like, I want to do more. I want to stay engaged.
Right.
I want to learn more. And so it's a matter of trying to keep them focused, But when it comes to your sister, man, I respect that 100-fold, bro.
Right. It's like, here I am, they're dumb. Like, I know it. I'm smart, but like, I'm smart in some areas. My sister's academically smart, and then she's driven. Jay, oh my God. Like, she was in 3 like club activities at school, still maintaining her GPA, still doing all this, taking Latin, taking what's that? Where essentially they do like what they take cases that happen in law, and like in court systems, and there's some other lawyers that teach school children how to argue like a lawyer, how to be essentially go into that essentially to go into law and learn about how to become a lawyer, stuff like that. And she did that, and she's very good at arguing, incredibly good at arguing, and she excelled at it. She became one of the best. She even went to state for whatever the hell it's called. I can't think of the top of my head.
Well, damn.
Yeah, she's like, and I'm so incredibly proud of her. And and because don't get me wrong, I graduated high school with a 3.2 GPA, which is, it's good.
Don't you shit on that? That's a damn good thing.
And like, I struggled in college. Technically, I still haven't even finished college. Working my ass off, doing this, but here she is, and she has become an example of what can be done. But I'm very extremely proud of her, because she's very proud of her heritage. She's very loud. She's not afraid of using her voice correctly. And then if worse comes to worse, I taught my sister how to fight. Because there was this, I remember she told me there was this boy that would push her around, and she she knocked him out because like a couple years before I taught her how to punch. I say, okay, when you punch somebody, don't close your fists in. That's how you hurt yourself. Aim with the knuckles, especially these two, and then hit them. If you're telling them back off and stop and knock it off, and they still don't listen, you have my full permission to hit them. She comes back, Luis, I have the tension. I'm like, why? I punched a kid. Why? He wouldn't stop pushing me, so I punched him. Okay.
Okay.
I don't have to go to the kid. I don't have to talk to the dad. Okay.
I told my son.
I'm not the father.
I told my son how to punch. And so what I told him, though, I said, when you make a fist, make sure your thumb is pressed in against your middle. And right here, when you feel this, it's super tight. He was like, why? I was like, if this is tight when you squeeze, when you punch, your hand will not open. You've actually made more tension in your fist, so you can lay a punch. And his mama was like, why are you teaching him that? I was like, bitch, are you teaching him? And so, you teaching him? Like, let me do my thing. And I was like, I just want him to be, prepared how to be able to defend himself. I don't want him to actively go out looking for fights and trouble and shit like that.
No.
I want him to stay out of trouble as much as possible. But sometimes
it comes to worse,
and trouble sometimes comes your way. Like I can tell you, I can't tell you the amount of times since I've been out here in Los Angeles that I've had to calm myself down from fucking somebody up. Because the last thing I need while I'm trying to develop a career is, yo, ain't that the dude who stumped dudes' earlobes together? Yeah, that's him.
Especially like you said, you're trying to build a career. You already did fantastic with the weakest link, which by the way, I'm not gonna give you shit for that because shit happens. But like your outreach has become even wider, like you said, across country and even in some other countries, including Mexico and Canada. Like your outreach, you're getting more work done, which is fantastic. But something like that, or we can't call the Hulk on these bastards that truly deserve it. But which is why we come here and talk about the punk asses later on.
I mean,
And tear them apart. But
dude,
like,
I can tell you the amount of bars I've been in where there's always a drunk white dude, and even if he's taller than me, he like, I'll fuck you up, and I'm like, bro, don't do this to yourself, please.
especially
Like,
you're a wrestler, and yes, granted, you do safely the moves, but those moves can hurt and possibly kill people
if I really want to apply them,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, come on, man, listen, just listen, fam. Look, I'm doing it. Like I've told people, I'm doing this for you. They're like, oh, you bitching out. I said, no. What I'm doing is backing down for your safety. It's like I'm backing down for your safety. And I'm like, what you mean? Say, hey man, look, I don't want to do this. Like even when as a bouncer, bro.
I can't imagine how many drunk idiots of every creed and religion go up to bouncers just to prove how tough they are to their friends.
So there was this dude. So we were closing, and we closed at 2. And we kind of sometimes, depending on how busy or whatever, we give people the little 10, 15-minute grace period to get out. There was a drunk Hispanic dude. He was sitting down. His brother was somewhere. His brother must have been in the bathroom. He was like, yo, man, you got to get up. We got to go downstairs. I pat him on the shoulder. Come on, man, let's go. Don't touch me. So then his brother ran up and pushed my shoulder. I must have, because I was already exhausted because I was frustrated. I was like, I'm ready to go the fuck home. He pushed. I grabbed this motherfucker by his shirt and lifted his ass up against the wall. Said, you ever put your motherfucking hands on me again? So then his drunk brother ran up on me. I dropped him, spun around, and locked his ass in a sleeper hold and started taking him down. And I was just so red, and I said, something had to tell me, let him go. So something told me in my head, I let him go. This motherfucker was on the ground like this. I literally took my hand, wake the fuck up, and he got up. His brother started talking about shit, was like, I'm going to break your nose. I said, you going what? I took my towel. I said, break my fucking nose then. And so here's the problem. The guys that I work with were trying to hold me back, and I was still moving. And they were like, I'm not going to try to hold him no more. I was like, yo. So one of my managers, super cool dude, my white manager, he was so nervous that I was finna fuck dude up. He was like, you just can't do that. I said, hey man, I saw red. I'm sorry. He's like, the guy, he wasn't doing anything. He could have just sat there. I was like, we was trying to clear this place out. Number one. I said, but yo, as soon as you put your hands on me, all bets are off. Because I can't, the reason I was hired here was my other boss saw one of my wrestling clips, was like, oh, that's him? Yeah, he hired. And so I was like, yo, that happened at my recent job, the one I'm waiting to go back to and all the shit. I used to work in downtown LA where downtown LA is the worst because, again, you get the mixture of people from all over, Long Beach, Compton, LA proper, South Central, all that. And then people who trying to show out because they had a downtown LA nightclub. And of course, people get drunk and they want to try to, I'm like, yo, don't do this. Don't do this. Because again, people think because I'm not 6'3", 6'4", that I will not hurt you. I'm like, yo, these hands are rated E for everybody. Please, don't do this to yourself, goddammit.
Yeah.
And so, man, it's so many times.
But you know what it is? So I think, they're also drunk, but also they think that us big people can't really fight. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, they're not weak, they're fat, oh, they're slow. Well, I have something to tell you.
When you see, the thing is, here's the thing. I've lost so much weight even then. as a bigger dude, first of all, you should see my frame. You look at my stomach, you're like, his stomach ain't sticking out. That's scary. Like, and you see this and you think, oh, you can't move and you're slow. And I'm like, yo, see, I think that's the number one problem. You think I'm slow. What you don't understand is I've always had speed for this size.
Mm-hmm.
And like, again, these hands are not in slow motion. You know what I'm saying? These hands come in 4K. Quit playing. Quit playing with me. Like, I just
FPS ready to go.
I just don't.
There's some people that just like don't get it, especially again, drunk idiot. Like, you have to admit, when we're drunk, we just don't give a fuck.
Well, that's
especially if we're out and about with friends and we want to show off, and like there's girls that you want to holler at, and like you want to show off and say I'm the man.
Here's the problem with that though. Let's say you drunk, right? We drunk, we out, we kicking it. You want to show off. What happens if you trying to show off to impress some chick and you get your ass whooped? Now your impression you thought you was gonna make ain't the fucking impression at all. You get what I'm saying? And I used to party a lot in my early mid-20s. Like, I used to party heavy. Mm-hmm. And me and my boys, we would go, like, we had been tight since high school. Mm-hmm. And so we would go out, and one of my boys, Daryl, this Mark would get drunk. We all pregame or whatever. But this Mark would literally walk in the door and say, I'm looking for a fight. Like, nigga, can you not look for a fight when I just paid $20 to get in?
Right, and especially because you're the homeboy, you have to get his back.
Right, because if you fight, I gotta fight. If I don't fight now, I'm a bitch. The only way I'm not fighting when you fighting is if I'm in a completely different part of the club and have no idea what's going on. Right, but you fight, I gotta fight. I paid $20 to get in here. Okay, I'm trying to enjoy myself. Can you look for a fight at home? Shit like that, like you're not trying to. Man.
Yeah, you're just trying to enjoy yourself, but. Yeah, idiots. We are
fucking idiots, man. Like I've seen it so much. I've been through that. I've had a couple fights where been in the club, my boy get into it, and literally I feel like I'm in a TV show because I have to turn. I feel like literally I got to turn, look to the camera, and say, "Now here goes the part of my night where shit just got fucked up," and now I'm starting to fight somebody, like because I don't wanna.
Right.
I've never gone out. I'm always on alert that I might have to, but I don't, excuse me, I don't actively plan to fight.
Okay, how about this? What's the one fight that you regret the most to happen, that you were part of the most?
Okay. It was me and a group of friends of mine, and we were at a pizza place on the south side. Now, I was nowhere near this size. I was like at my beginning wrestling size, so I was real tiny. And it was about 4 of us, and this dude came in, and I guess he was going to get some food too. And we saw it, and my boy saw his Jordans he had. He was like, "Yo, those are dope." Like he was just asking sincerely, like, "Yo, those are dope. What size are those?" And so dude told him, boom. All I know is next thing you see is a group of niggas coming in with him, and these niggas fighting. Now I had bitch ass this. I went under the table. I was like, nope, not today. Not now, Jesus. I was like, you niggas can square up because this ain't got nothing to do with me. They was so mad. They was like, yo, we saw you hit on the table. I was like, well, shit happens. Like, my bad. But it was like, because the dude went back and thought that we was going to try to jack his shoes, asking him what size they were. When my boy literally was just asking, like, yo, because you see a certain shoe, you're like, yo, okay, so what size? So what would it look like if you get a bigger size or a smaller size and things like that? And I will never forget. I regret it, but also I still got, minimal scars. Those scars on my face from shaving. Like, I've had moments like that. I mean, that was probably one of the only ones, but other than that, I think after that, I was more so full ride or die. Like if you my homie, we good. If I know you, or like if one of my homies vouch for you and I'm with y'all and some shit goes down, I got you. There's no doubt. I got your back. But I've seen it, man. I've seen it so much.
Yep.
Whew.
It's out of this world. Uh, I think the only time that's ever happened to me, I don't like to fight. If I can avoid it, I will. I'm just, I don't look for fights. I've been taught better. But if I had to, I will. And one time it happened. I was in college. It was like freshman year. I was trying to go for a fraternity, and you know how those goes. Um, Story short, somebody made fun of me while I was under the influence. Let's say they started calling me all types of names that are, you shouldn't speak to a Hispanic man. I saw red and I got in a fight. Obviously, me being the only one, I got ganged up and I got my ass whooped. I come back with black eye, bloody lip, um, the biggest headache, and bruised ribs. However, the dude I was fighting, or the dudes, I gave it back. I remember hearing crack on somebody's bone. I broke somebody's nose, black eyes, obviously. So I gave it as good as I got, but I got my ass whooped. And like, I was like, you
And
know what?
so it's one of those.
If
It's
this is
one of
the
those.
fraternity,
It's one of those. Somebody look at you and you be like, "You should see the other guy." It's one of those.
like legitly, I'm like, you know what? After that, I'm like, I'm not going fraternities. It's just too many white dudes pretending to be tough. It just no,
I,
thank you.
I just, you know
No,
what?
thank you.
I've always said this. Like, there are legit tough guys everywhere in every race.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this, if you're only tough when there are people around, you're not tough.
No, you're a coward.
Like, you're a coward. Like, you need some backup. That's like all these racist dudes you see. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've always said this when it comes, especially racist dudes, but like this is in general. They're never racist and blatant when it's them by themselves,
Oh no,
or
never.
if there's not a camera going, because they know it can get real for their ass real quick.
Yeah.
I've seen white guys, I've seen Hispanic guys, I've seen black dudes all try to be tough, and it's like,
And then
come on, especially like a lot of these black cats. Like, if you a young black skinny cat, I know you not tough, because I know what your first thought is. If I get my ass whooped, I'm finna go get that thing and air somebody out. So those are the ones, like, those are the ones that for sure I'm like, nigga, I'm not with you, because I already know what's gonna happen. You not gonna take this ass whooping lightly. You just not.
Yep.
You just not. You gonna be that type of dude. I'm waiting for this motherfucker to come out the club or work. I'm gonna shoot his ass. Also, whatever happened to, you just got your ass whooped. Like, we all used to have these moments where if you got your ass whooped, it is.
And you know what I think it is too? Is I think I'm only 20 something. I'm only 27 years old, but I almost sound like an old man. It's just back in the day, you got your ass whooped. You got your ass whooped. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, with kids, God, I'm sounding like an old man. With kids trying to be tough, and this new PC culture with everybody gets the trophies, where everybody gets this, it just, they don't understand that sometimes you gotta get your ass whooped to really, okay, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Maybe I gotta change something, or maybe I gotta hit the gym. Maybe I have to start working out, get better, do boxing classes, go wrestling classes, go jiu-jitsu, whatever have you. Mm-hmm. But they can't take the fact that sometimes it ain't gonna go your way, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Sometimes it just even the best fighters in the world have gotten their asses whooped before once or twice. Mm-hmm. So it's like, when you realize the best boxers, the best MMA artists, they've been MMA fighters, they have had their ass whooped once or twice, maybe once or twice. Mm-hmm. Remember, Kimbo Slice, God rest his soul, he was whooping motherfuckers' asses in the backyard. Mm-hmm. Like, again, there was no technique, no training. And again, you can beat somebody who's just wild. But then when he started getting in Bellator, I think it was, and realized, okay, he started training, but he trained, but still he was like, okay, so I'm training, I'm still this dude. And he was getting his ass stumped. Like, even the best fighters can be whooped. And so it happens. But it also is how you rebound from that. What do you learn?
Yeah.
There was a thing I learned. I wish I'd have learned it in wrestling, but I learned it from stand-up. And I never knew how to apply it to life until stand-up. Comics always think it's the best time ever when you kill, when you destroy on stage and the crowd loves you.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, what did you learn from that? You already know shit works and everything. You that's what you hope. But you learn more for when you bomb. Because when you bomb, you like, yo, why did this joke not hit? What did I say or what did I do? What was this crowd like that I didn't connect with them at this moment? And when you get your ass whooped, you like, if you whoop somebody's ass, you ain't learned this shit. You're like, all right, I know it whoop people's asses. But then you get your ass whooped, you're like, yo, where did I fall off? Did I have no defense? You know, shit like that. Like, was I too slow?
And but it's hard though, you know what I mean? Like, we're all prideful creatures, and it's hard to admit sometimes you're at fault. And it's easy to say, oh yeah, just get up and I'll do better next time, when both of us know it's one of the hardest things you can ever do. Admit, oh, maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe this joke wasn't as funny as I thought it was. Maybe I should have said that to the fine girl that I see over there in the corner. It's hard to do.
I think swallowing pride is a very, very difficult thing. I've had to swallow my pride once or twice. And, even when it's like, damn, like, because this was actually with comedy. I went into a show, I'd been like on a hot streak, destroying shows. I'm like, yo, I'm good. I know how to do this. Bam, bam, bam. This shit's time. This shit's perfect. Boom. And I went in and I did the set. And it was only like a 7-minute set. And I couldn't get shit to connect. And I was like, the fuck? And I'm literally, when I got off stage, the first thing I tried to do was for myself, because of my pride, is say, oh, it ain't me, it's the crowd. And then I watched the subsequent comics go up and murder. And I'm like, I'm gonna probably have to listen to this recording. You know what I'm saying? Now I gotta listen to this recording and figure out what it is I did wrong. And so I learned from that. And I think we have to learn from our mistakes in general. We have to learn from the bullshit we put out and we deal with. Like, nobody is immune to bullshit they can put out. We can try our hardest to be like, I want to make sure everything I do is on the level and straight and cool and blah, 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 blah. But, when it comes to people who create content, people who are directors, people who are actors and comedians and everything, it's like we try to make sure everything is good and it's a certain way, it's a certain level. But then it turns around and it's like, oh, this is not good. This is not good.
Which sucks too, because like you have to edit your own stuff, and like the hardest part for me, as God, I hate this word, content creator, is watching my stuff back.
Excuse me, pardon me.
You're good. Pardon me. Like, that's the hard part for me, because I can see every mistake I'm saying. Like when we do this and you post your stuff on YouTube, I hate watching it back, or because I don't like, because I know the mistakes I do. And I criticize myself overly hard.
Bro, I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm a stand-up comedian. I fucking hate listening to myself in a playback. But here's the thing. The same voice that I hate to hear, people love to hear it on stage.
Yeah.
When I tell you I hate I've listened to I've watched episodes back of like blurs and shit like that. And I'd be like, I don't want to see my motherfucking self. I want to. But they're like, oh yeah, people clearly like seeing me and shit like that.
Yeah, like, but like, again, like for instance, for me, it just ingrained to me that I don't like myself, right? And it's one of the hardest things to admit to myself, that I don't like myself as much as I should. And while it's good that I admit it, it's hard to do when you're editing yourself and seeing the mistakes you did and the things you say. Like, wait, why did you say that? Stop talking. No, stop. You're not as funny as you think you are. Stop. No. But it is what it is sometimes, and it's hard to admit you're at fault, or hard to edit yourself out. That for me is the hardest thing to do. It's just do that. Go back and listen to myself. Because again,
it's one of those things you literally have to suck up. Like, I'm about to, because I finally found enough stories to record this week's episode of Mad Titan, because It wasn't shit. Everybody was like, "Where's that?"
No.
It wasn't no news.
I mean, you could have done like theories about the upcoming Spider-Man movie,
But at the same time, I would get tired of it after like 10, 20 minutes talking about it.
True, fair enough. I mean, you could also connect it with WandaVision, and then talking about
We
Miss
can go all
M,
that.
or
But now there's so much stuff that's happening now that I can talk about. I can talk about the Spider-Man rumors along with other stuff, which gives me a full level of content that I can do. So I'm gonna do that episode after I do this, because I got to do that after we're done here. I got to re-upload the episode that got pulled. I'm sorry, got blocked. It didn't even get pulled. It got blocked. Hell yeah!
Yesterday's episode of the Blurs
got blocked. It took maybe, I think it was 10. Let me look at the exact blurred email. Hold on.
Because I was watching as it was live. I was like, oh no, Jay is losing it. Oh no, Winston, stop. Winston, no.
What time
was it? Because of the Doja video, or
so? Here's where is this? 39. No, it wasn't the Doja video. So, Blurs in the Hood was done at 3 p.m. on 3 p.m. Pacific time. At 3:39 p.m., we get an email to the Blurs email that says your video has been blocked. But we found out what it was that blocked us. The Lizzo video. We played Lizzo's whole speech. That was the only thing. Like, because I was like, yo.
But it was short, though.
They claimed Dick Clark Productions, that I guess runs the Billboard or whatever, claimed the video. But I was like, yo, it's her acceptance speech. Like, what are you talking about? So what I did is I disputed it, but they haven't said anything back. So I just was like, fuck it. I'll edit that part real quick, then just re-upload it. People can still catch it. Probably won't have the same views as it had live. It is what it is. But it's like, it's here now, so you can have it. And I told people, we posted like, yo, the podcast version is still up. Like, you can't take the podcast down. The podcast version is still up, which is crazy.
So was it like the audio, or was it just the visuals of the?
So here's the thing: YouTube's algorithm and search engine doesn't look for video; it only listens. It only listens, and so it listens at 7 seconds at a time. So if we'd have played 7 seconds, clipped 7 seconds of something different, clipped 7 seconds, clipped, et cetera, it'd have never caught it. That's how we were able to play the Bill Burr monologue,
right?
The clip from the Bill Burr monologue from SNL, because we cut it. But I was like, that was what y'all picked up. That, like, this is like, yo, ain't nobody trying. Because the thing with the copyright claims, which you get me sometimes with YouTube, especially.
So many people claim it, and it takes away money from you, the views from your videos that could be used. And it's like,
yourself. We're not even. And the thing is, we're not even monetizing the channel. We can monetize, but every time we try to, because of the content,
it gets pulled.
It won't get pulled. It just gets demonetized instantly. So we never set it to the monetization. So there's no money we're making off of this video, through YouTube. None. The only thing is we're talking about a clip, and you think this is violating your copyright somehow?
No, it's. Companies have made it so easy for them to claim videos of smaller or even bigger channels, so that it's almost impossible to actually grow your channel. It's hard now than it was 5 years ago.
Of course.
And it's like, it's smarter than them that they figured out the money and they're able to, be assholes about it and make it impossible for everybody else. But it sucks. It's horrible, which is why I prefer Twitch and why I think I should push it on Twitch and on your on the other way you can get your podcast, because YouTube is impossible unless you have connected with some bigger groups or some other YouTubers or companies. It's impossible if you have been established for this.
Yeah, because it never
2015.
That's the thing; it never gets pulled off Twitch.
No,
and so
the song gets shut off, but it doesn't get pulled.
So, like, the thing I'm trying to figure out, I want to look into, and because I'm really getting close, because we pulled. So we used to do Facebook and YouTube. Facebook blocked Facebook not only tweaked out a couple times, they blocked my page. I had a restriction on my page where I couldn't post for 3 days because of shit that went through fucking Facebook. So when I'm thinking about, I'm gonna see if some way that I can upload all of the old episodes, which is probably not possible.
On Twitch, no, you can post stuff and have it there as a backup. I think it lasts a couple of months. I'm not exactly sure, but you mean you can put it on Facebook on a separate account for both you and Winston for Blurs. That could help. That could bring more people there.
We can do Facebook. I think we can do Facebook now because it's a YouTube video. We're not live doing it. It's a YouTube clip. Now it's a YouTube video we posted, so we can do that. But that still is like, let me see. Okay, so I'm getting comments on everything else. So we got messages for comments. People literally commented on the post about so I posted for those looking for episode 45. It got pulled. So I'm gonna let you hear this while I'm reading it. Hold on, let me see this. Hold on, because this is funny. People are literally like, well, we knew it. Winston did it. He made it happen. He was like, I'll get it. And again, like everybody was like, well, if it gets pulled, it's episode 45. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be that upset. So let me see. Let's see what these comments say. Cause this shit is hilarious. Cause I made a post. Here it goes. View more. So I wrote, for those looking for episode 45 was figured. So somebody wrote, I watched it on Twitch when YouTube didn't work. Not sure if it's still up there. Somebody said, I missed the live stream, so I've been looking forward to this. Thank you. Somebody said, saw this coming, but it was totally worth it, though, for the folks who got to watch it live. Somebody said, Jay, you tried. Winston didn't give a fuck, but it was a funny fucking train wreck. I'm just picturing Rex and Effects Rump Shaker intersplice with MC Hammer's Pumps to the Bump over all the other gifts that got this episode pulled.
It was funny though. I appreciate it because I was at work and I just had you guys in the background. It was funny, and I feel like you deserved it, just to laugh, because again, hope you don't take this the wrong way, but you stress yourself for something you can't control, and I think all the fans are telling you, stop, Jay, you're doing fine, Jay, stop, we love you, stop, Jay.
It is, and it's because of the internet, and I think for me, it's just like I've always.
You're very professional, which is good.
That's the thing, yes.
You can't punish yourself for something you literally have no control over. You can worry about how professional you are and how good your comments and how good you are with your relationship with Winston, but stuff like this with the internet, just accept it and move on and have fun with it.
That's one thing, but also I think the biggest thing that has literally always pissed me off with the internet with it doing that is, and it never fails, when I'm about to make a point, then the shit goes off. That's the frustrating part. It'd be a different story if I'm just talking about something, but I'll be like, yeah, and so blah, 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 blah. And then I'm frozen. I'm like, fuck it,
Yeah, we love you and we appreciate that that you're so professional and that you're such a perfectionist that it upsets you, because it means that this is passion for you, right? But at the same time, you can't let it consume you in a way. You know what I mean?
It just makes me feel like, no, what it does is it further enrages my anger with Spectrum Internet, because
it's a monopoly.
It's a monopoly. I think that's the biggest issue, because I was looking like, okay, Xfinity is out here. Let's see if I can get it this way. Nope. What about, let me see about Verizon? Nope. And it's like, are you fucking kidding? Yeah, I have to stick.
It's stupid.
I have to stick with this one. And it's that's the biggest thing, man. But I do appreciate everybody who's like, yo, it's all good. And I think that's the one thing about the fans that have become more like family, who are like, yo, we're here. And I think the thing that upsets me, one of the things that upsets me the most, is that I'm watching the show grow. And so there are newer viewers who might first time be introduced to this. And of course, the regulars are like, yo, you have no control over this. But our new viewers may be like, what's happening? And so that gets me back here, in the back here. So.
And like, man, you know this more than I do, but like, you know, they're gonna come and go. It's the ones that like you cultivate, and they want us to stay. They want us to talk. They want us to go out their way to be part of the show as much as they possibly can. Those are the ones who should really matter to you.
And they do.
But again,
and,
it's hard. It's hard for us to admit it, though. You know what I mean?
This is very, and it's also a great thing when we've started seeing like the views we have after the live view, and we always are like, yo, this is dope. But the live numbers now, the amount of people that are watching us live, like, yo, and sticking with us Tuesday and Thursday. Because we were like, so this is pulling the curtain back. I'll tell you something. So we were like, we literally had the discussion, me and Winston, and we were like, yo, it's so fucked up that every time we're done on Tuesday, a bunch of shit happens and we can't talk about it till the next week. And so we were like, yo, what about trying to do 2 days a week, like Tuesday and Thursday? Because we figured out Thursday probably be the best day. And he was like, yeah, but we was like, the first thing we were like, we know we got our loyal audience. He was like, will they all follow us on a Thursday? That was but you as a fan and a viewer and a friend of the show, and like, we appreciate it, but it's like, we're not sure everybody else may have felt the same.
For sure.
And so we were like, all right, so that's when we put out that week, I think it was in September, we're like, yo, we're going to try something. If it goes well, we want to see if we did 2 days a week, would you ride with us? And everybody was like, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's not even a
let's
question.
go. And so we did Thursday, and I was like, all right. I told Winston, we were sitting there, was like, whether we didn't care about, the one thing we didn't really care about, honestly, that day was the Streamlabs. We didn't give a shit. We was like, we need to see what this number's going to be like, what these live viewers are going to be like. And it was, when it stayed steady, when it stayed literally what Tuesday was, we were like,
you got something.
We got something.
Which like, I know this is not like you're not control the show, but which is why I think like you guys should talk to John, the old man, that, yo, you should guys have that show twice a week. Because again, with sports, so much happened throughout the week that you have to wait a whole week to talk about.
The problem with that is I think we both would figure out, Winston and I would like, all right, let's figure out a date in midst of, what he does, what I do. And we would try to do that. The problem is Rocha has already set himself 50,000 shows. So he's only allocated the once. So Winston so what Winston has decided to do, which I thought about, because like he was saying, yo, we need to at least talk about this because it's happened. So anything that happens after game time that we can talk about on Thursday, sports wise, we'll talk about. And so
that's smart, because you guys should do it. Like, I mean, granted, John Rocha, big ups to my Latino brother out there, but like, damn, like, you guys are like, there's another avenue of maybe not income, yes, but also exposure, which is what you guys need. And you guys are doing fantastic on that show, which, to be honest, as much as I like John Rocha, the main reason I stayed with that show is because of you and Winston. Because I liked you guys' commentary and I followed you guys. And when I learned, oh, you guys have a show, hell yeah, let's go to it. And I started watching it, and like, I love the fact that you guys have 2 shows a week. Because for me, shit, it saves me from being like, what the hell am I doing now? Like, because for me before, Mondays was I had you guys, and then Tuesday I had Blurs, which fine, those are the only 2 shows that I watch. I don't watch TV anymore. So like, now I'm entertained more times out of the week, and I love it and I enjoy it. And I'm glad that you guys are doing it more times during the week, because it shows. Fans are going to show you guys, because you guys are charismatic. You guys care. You guys are passionate, which is fantastic.
Thank you. And just because we're gonna close this up in a minute, but here's the thing too. This is gonna sound so weird, but I think you understand what I mean when I say this. The pandemic helped us. We were getting viewers and stuff already, but I think the fact people had to be at home now and have found something new that they like, where people were like, well, I'm not doing shit at 2:00 on Tuesday or 5:00 or 4:00 on Tuesday or Thursday. I can do that. I can watch this. And literally, it's what's helped these past 7 months. Now, we both agreed that the biggest thing, and it was wild, it had to be that, was the first town hall we did. When we did the town hall, when we were just open and just raw about everything, it boosted our numbers high.
Because, like, I know you want to end this really quick, but I think the reason why is because that's the first time you guys showed, like, who you truly were instead of trying, like, your persona. You know what I mean? Like, like for streamers or for you understand this better as well. You have to be yourself, but like 1,000%. Like, almost become a character for a specific amount of time, so you can't really be truly yourself. And when you did those both of them, the first one, I guess we're talking about, you let yourself be who you are without, like, covering yourself up and being more
personality in person.
Yes. And that's, I think, what attracted a lot of people, because you were honest and you were raw and you were real, which nowadays there's not a lot of people who are.
Yeah, because I see a lot of people want to discuss, a lot of channels, a lot of streamers, a lot of people we're friends with closely, we'll talk about these issues. And it's for some of them, they can't talk about them on the level that Winston and I can, because they don't experience it. And so when we did that, again, we literally went in, we said, yo, we'll do the Streamlabs, but whatever we do, we're going to donate it, no matter what. We said we're going to donate it. And we were like, all right, we'll probably get maybe $400 or $500. We literally only thought that. And then people kept donating because they understood the cause. Again, everybody was seeing it. But everybody kept coming back like, yo, thank you for having this. Thank you for doing this. And, thank you for, talking about this. And we're like, cool. Then the Jacob Blake situation happened. And we didn't, again, it was just like, we both were at the point, we were just like, yo, fuck it. Here we go again. We're going to do it. And we did it. And each time it has been very comforting for people to be like, just thank you for being real with it. And not like, one of the things that you hear me say it, everybody has always heard me say it. I don't push shit one side of the aisle or the other, because I don't give a fuck. I say, I'm just going to tell you straight up as shit is. I'm not going to say all these Republicans or all these liberals or conservatives or Democrats. I'm not going to say, I'm just like, yo, this is what shit the fuck is. This is what it is. This is what it is, plain and simple. Stop trying to make it everything a political thing. This is what it just truly is. And so it has been, it was amazing, the responses to those. And again, it's like, we literally say to each other all the time, and this is an honest story. We don't want to have to do these. Because people we don't want to have these moments. We don't want to have to say, all right, yo, it's time to set up another town hall. Like, we don't want to do this. Like, we only did it because we were like, it's necessary. And, the 2 times we did it, we're just like, yo, this is who we are. This is what it is. Blah, blah, blah. And it's just been, that was a moment, like I said, that was a moment that let us know that, like you said, people knew, they started to learn who were the dudes behind the dudes. And they were like, oh, they're the same guys, but this is them being real. This is them being straight up and honest. And couldn't ask for it a better way, man. But look, bro, as always, before I even close this out again, congratulations. And I will tell you this, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Proud of you. Keep pushing, man. That's all you keep doing.
For sure.
Again, once I unlock these, like once I unlock them for everybody, again, you never know who's watching these and like, oh shit, let me check them out. So always want to make sure, because what you're trying to do, again, you're on that path. And yeah, you got the goal set to have it by the end of the year. You never know, it can happen quicker. So tell the people about what you got going on, how to find you.
So after this, I'm gonna take about an hour break. I just gotta go pick up my sister from the mall. But
you gotta realize people ain't gonna see this after an hour.
Well, I'll be back to streaming again today on twitch.tv/LTKing93, and that's where I am Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays from 5 o'clock till about 10 or even longer. Come view me, come sit down, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me you like me or whatever. Come fill out a follow. If you want to be part of a community, I'm trying to build up this kingdom because, yes, I'm a king, and you're more than welcome to join the Council of Knights. And we'll figure out what the hell we're gonna call ourselves. But for now, it's been an amazing ride, and I, as much as work I've put into this, I gotta say it all started because you started talking to me. Like it fueled that need, that passion. Like I can do this. So, follow me on Twitch and Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at LTKing93. That's where I am. That's where I would be. You can talk to me if you need it for mental health. Just talk to people. Don't be like me who don't talk about your problems. Talk to somebody. Talk to me. I'm more than welcome to. But yeah, that's it.
Dude, it's very humbling, and I'm truly honored that I could be a motivation for what you're doing. Honestly, I mean that's in all sincerity, and I do. It's very humbling. Thank you so much, and I hope that you can continue to keep going, and whatever I can do to help push it, I will. You already know. Y'all already know the drill for me. Twitter and Instagram, Mr. J Washington. If you want to be a part of the Supervillain Squad yourself, it's patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. All that good stuff. Blurred to the Hood. Y'all already know. Subscribe here to the channel. You're watching the channel. Please click the subscribe button. Click the damn button. I'm trying to find new shit to review because there ain't nothing coming out yet. So I might just go ahead and do some things. So check it out and do all that, man. And I'll holler at you guys later. Take care. I'm out. Bye.